Hello everyone and welcome to the part 2 of our FAQ series on Schengen Visa. In today's video, we'll be addressing 10 commonly asked questions related to Schengen Visa application process. Feel free to navigate directly to the question that you're interested in. Let's get started. Question 1. Do I need to book flight tickets before the visa appointment? Well, embassies may require a flight itinerary or a proof of travel plan as part of the visa application process. In such cases, it's recommended to provide a flight itinerary reservation or a refundable flight ticket, if possible, instead of booking a non-refundable flight ticket. I always book Eurostar through my credit card, which offers free cancellation or flexible ticket options. It can be very advantageous to your visa application. Also, reserving a flight ticket with a free hold option by airlines is another good option to have. Question number 2. Can I use my France-issued Schengen visa to travel to Germany first instead? Your first point of entry in the Schengen area does not have to be the same as the country that issued your Schengen visa. However, the country that issued your visa must be your primary destination, or the country where you plan to stay the longest. Let's take an example. If you plan to stay in France for a week and have obtained your Schengen visa through the French embassy, you can enter through Germany as long as your stay in Germany is shorter than that of France. Let's take another example. If you have got your visa from the French embassy and did not visit France at all, the next time you apply from the French embassy, they will see your past travel history and it can cause complications. The general rule is that if you intend to visit multiple Schengen countries during a trip, you must apply for a visa from the embassy of the country which is your primary destination, where you will be spending the majority of your time during the trip. Hope that makes sense. Next up is question 3. What documents are needed if I am visiting friends or family in the Schengen area? When applying for a visa to visit your friends or family in the Schengen area, you typically need to provide the following documents: completed visa application form, signed and dated, 2 recent passport size photos, your passport of course, travel insurance, travel itinerary, proof of accommodation. This is an important one for this situation. Provide an invitation letter from your friend or family member in the Schengen area, stating the purpose, duration of your visit, their relationship to you, and their willingness to support you during your stay. The letter must include their address and contact details. If they are sponsoring your stay, they may need to provide their bank statements as well. Lastly, proof of ties to your home country, such as employment letters, property ownership documents, or evidence of family responsibilities. This helps establish your intention to return after the visit. Moving on to question 4. Will getting a Schengen visa from Spain or France allow me to travel to other Schengen countries? Yes, regardless of whether you obtain a single entry or a multi-entry Schengen visa from France or Spain, you can travel to other countries within the Schengen area. The visa allows you to enter and travel freely among these 26 participating Schengen countries. With a single entry visa, you can enter the Schengen area once within the specified dates of validity. Once you exit the Schengen area, the visa expires, even if you have some time left on the visa. If you plan to visit another Schengen country after leaving the area, you would need to apply again. With a multi-entry Schengen visa, you can enter and exit the area multiple times within the specified dates of validity. This type of visa allows you to travel to other Schengen countries and return to Schengen areas without the need of a new visa, as long as your overall stay does not exceed the maximum duration allowed by your visa. Moving on to question 5. Do I really need a travel or health insurance? The requirement for travel or health insurance when applying the visa is in place to ensure the well-being and financial security of the visa applicant during their stay in the Schengen area. This travel or health insurance provides coverage for any medical expenses that may occur during the applicant's stay in the Schengen area. It also ensures that they have access to necessary medical treatment, hospitalization, and emergency medical services if needed. By having this insurance, the visa applicant is responsible for their own medical expenses rather than relying on the public healthcare system of the Schengen country they are visiting. So yes, it's highly recommended to obtain a travel or health insurance when applying for a Schengen visa. Not only is it often mandatory requirement for the visa application, but it also provides crucial financial protection and peace of mind during your trip. Next up is number 6. This is a very common question and most people get confused about this. Is it mandatory to return to France before coming back into the UK, or I can return to UK from any other country? Considering you've got your Schengen visa from France, you're not required to return to France specifically before coming back to the UK. The Schengen visa allows a free movement within the Schengen area, which includes 26 participating countries. You can enter and exit Schengen area through any of these countries, including France, as long as your visa is valid. Therefore, you have the flexibility to return to the UK from any Schengen country of your own choice. Moving on to question 7. This is a very commonly asked question and nobody knows the answer to this. How much money should I have in my bank account? While there is no fixed amount mentioned in the Schengen regulations or by the French embassy, it is generally recommended to have a reasonable and consistent balance that demonstrates your ability to cover the expenses during your stay. As there is no set amount, it is important to ensure your bank balance reflects your ability to comfortably afford your trip without facing financial difficulties. Consider the cost of living in France or the country that you're going to visit and research the average expenses to estimate a suitable balance. Let me make your life easy by giving you the reasonable figures that we considered during our trips. Budgeting around 60 to 90 euros per day can be regarded as suitable amount for daily expenses. You could always show your bank account with more balance. As you have already taken care of the major expenses such as accommodation and flight tickets, this budget should provide you with enough flexibility to enjoy your trip with additional cost or unexpected expenses that may arise. Moving on to question 8. This is specifically for university or college students. What all documents should they be providing? The documents must include your visa application which is completed and signed, 2 passport size photographs, a valid passport, a round trip reservation or itinerary, travel insurance, proof of accommodation or a letter of invitation from host, bank statement. If you don't have one, you will need a sponsorship letter by another person that confirms they will be financially supporting your trip to the Schengen area. In order for this letter to be valid, it must be accompanied by a bank statement of the sponsor not older than 3 months. If you're enrolled in a university or educational institution, provide a letter of acceptance or enrollment confirmation. And if you're a student and your trip is not during a vacation period, obtain a no objections letter from your educational institution allowing you to travel. Lastly, something showing strong ties to your home country. You could add that in your cover letter. I have a quick video here about how to write a cover letter. Providing all documents and demonstrating your intent to return to your home country after the visit will strengthen your application and increase your chances of obtaining a Schengen visa as a student. I hope that was clear. Now moving on to question number 9. I want to do a multi-stop trip. Which country visa shall I apply for? If you plan to visit multiple Schengen countries in a single trip, you should apply for a Schengen visa through the embassy of the country that will be your main destination or the country you will spend the longest duration of your trip. This is known as the main destination principle. The main destination is determined based on various factors such as purpose of your visit, duration of stay in each country, and the primary activities you will engage in during your trip. If the duration of stay is equal in multiple countries, you should apply at the embassy of the first Schengen country you plan to enter. Let's take an example. If you want to enter through Spain for 2 days and then visit Netherlands for the next 2 days and finally visit France and stay there for 4 days, then you must apply through the French embassy. But if you were to do the same countries for 1 day each, as you're entering through Spain, you must apply to their embassy. Finally, let's go to the last question. It's also a very common question. How long does it take to get the visa? Generally, the processing time can range from a few days to several weeks. The processing time for a Schengen visa can vary depending on several factors, such as including the country where you're applying from and the workload of the embassy or the consulate. After your visa appointment, the embassy or consulate will review your application, supporting documents, and conduct necessary background checks. This process can take some time, especially during the peak travel seasons, where there is a higher volume of applications. We've applied for a couple of times now, and only once we got it within 5 days. But this year when we applied early January, we got it after 2 weeks. My advice is to apply your visa well in advance of your intended travel dates, as processing times can vary and unexpected delays may occur. This will allow you enough time to receive your visa and make necessary travel arrangements without any last-minute stress. We hope you found this video useful. If you have any specific topics you would like us to cover in more detail, please let us know by commenting below. Your feedback is greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching.